much, Jess, for that introduction to Start Early and for a little bit of context around the national work. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to run through this pretty quickly, but just know that there will be opportunities for you to give feedback. And I'm also going to ask one of my colleagues to please drop in the chat the actual link to the system map as well while I go through it. So feel free to go to that page on your own, bookmark it, and just browse at your own pace as well. So inside the system map, you're going to find several sections. So the community context section outlines Contra Costa's demographics, geography, economic landscape that all shape need and access. Includes data on population, language, race, ethnicity, housing, neighborhood level child density to show where services are most needed. The next section is the healthy beginning section, and that covers prenatal birth and infant health indicators. So think birth outcomes, immunization, screening rates. It highlights where health services are working well and where racial, geographic, or coverage gaps might exist. The next section is the strong supported family section, and that describes family level economic and social determinants and safety net supports that families use. It surfaces stressors that affect parenting and highlights many community assets that we have in the county. The next section is the quality early childhood program section, and it profiles the major early learning and family serving programs that are operating in our county. So think WIC, home visiting, early start, Head Start and early Head Start, state preschool, transitional kindergarten, childcare subsidies. It summarizes things like slots and reach and where capacity might be falling short of estimated need within those programs. The next section is the early childhood workforce section. It represents workforce size, credentials, languages, compensation, turnover risk, and professional development access. It identifies a lot of strengths that we have in our early childhood workforce right now, including a really strong commitment to serving families, as well as some strong bilingual capacity. But it also surfaces barriers like low pay, burnout, and training gaps that might exist. The next section is the funding, governance, and collaboration section, which maps major funding streams, especially public funding streams, as well as major local conveners, governance roles. And finally, there's a program profile appendix section. So this contains really detailed level program tables and data for practitioner and planners who need operational detail to act. So it's standalone program profiles for WIC, for early start, state preschool, TK, et cetera. And early childhood special education, Head Start, home visiting. Lots of those different systems are included in the appendix, which is the program profile section. Okay, so now we're going to turn our attention to the system map itself. So my colleague is going to stop sharing while I start sharing. Give me just one moment here to get this up. So as you can see, this is our First Five website, which is where you'll find the system map. I'm going to move this to full screen just so everyone can see it. Hopefully everyone can see that pretty well. If not, please shout out. So this is the first page of the system map on our website. And across the top, you're going to see the sections that we just discussed earlier. So each of those icons at the top will allow you to navigate directly to the start of that section. So let's click on one just to begin, just as an example. So I'm going to pick the strong supported family section. So now we jump straight to that section of the map. A few things I'll point out. On the upper right-hand corner of each page, you'll see a label for the section that you're currently viewing, just in case you get turned around. You'll also notice that each page is numbered down here in the lower right. To navigate further into a section, you can click the arrows down here at the bottom. Forward or backwards allows you to navigate. And if it's in full screen mode, you can also use the arrows on your keyboard. On the upper left of each page, you'll see this icon with 3 lines. Clicking on that icon allows you to navigate to the other major sections of the system map really easily. So if I wanted to go back to the home page, I can click there, and then we can go right back to the strong supported family section. One final way to navigate the system map, if you know which page you're looking for, is to use this progress bar down at the bottom. So if, for example, I know that I want to show everyone here information about caregiver mental health, and I know that that's on page 28, I can navigate using that progress bar down at the bottom. So each of the main sections of the system map is structured in the same way, just for a little bit of continuity. So the section begins with some context setting about which sectors and systems are involved, as well as why this topic is important to understanding early childhood. Next, within the major sections comes the qualitative insights that we gather as part of this process. So each of these pages has the major themes that arose across strengths and then opportunities for that topic area. After that, you'll find some aggregated program level data and public data across different subtopics within this larger area. So for each page, you'll often see a mix of quantitative data and qualitative data, as well as a few short sentences on why this topic is important for early childhood system building. So in this section, for example, you can find information on parental employment and income, information on housing, food security, or childcare affordability, just to name a few. So many of the data visualizations within the system map are really interactive on the website. So you can hover, you can segment, you can see details as you interact with the visualization. You can read pop-out details, you can toggle between different views sometimes. So for example, on this page, you'll notice some graphics down here about childcare affordability, benchmarked to 2 different example family income levels. We've set up the visualization to let folks view what this affordability looks like for center-based care or for family childcare homes in our county for these 2 example families. And again, it's just nice to be able to go in and play with the data and see how it interacts. So at the bottom of slides that have quantitative data, you'll notice a hyperlink that will take you to the reference section for that section. So if you just click on this citation down here that says see references, that hyperlink will take you to additional details about where the data comes from, how recently the data was released, and how you can find it for yourself. There are also data points within this tool that are able to be disaggregated by geographic region, like zip code. So for example, if we're staying on the childcare theme here, I know that on page 86, which I'm going to find right now down here at the bottom, you can find data on the physical locations of licensed childcare centers, as well as locations and capacity across different zip codes for family childcare homes. So for example, on this map, you can zoom in, say we wanted to focus in a little bit on licensed center providers in the Antioch-Pittsburgh area. You can zoom in and you can hover over various different locations and see where they are. And then for this visualization over here for family childcare homes, as an example, we know that the data is a bit different. That's available for family childcare homes to protect privacy of providers. And so we're not able to give exact locations of folks' homes, but we are able to see across these different zip codes how many licensed family childcare homes there are within each. And this is a way to get similar information at the aggregate level for the zip codes in our county. And data like this that's sort of geographically disaggregated can help us tell the story about childcare capacity across our county and how it might be changing due to TK enrollment or childcare center closures. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. That was a really, really quick overview about how to make your way around the system map, but we really encourage you to go into the tool yourself, play around with it. And another quick reminder, if you have questions, you can please drop them into the Q&A function. And if you have suggestions or ideas, comments, we will be sending a feedback survey to folks that attended the webinar. And that will be a great way to let us know what you think about the system map and any changes that you'd like to see. Have a great day. We look forward to hearing from you.